Hello, Coleman First Baptist, and hello to anyone else who may have found this thing that I'm calling the Daily Calm with Pastor Tom. I hope it brings an infusion of calm into your day. Today, I am in Matthew 6, and the famous passage is the Lord's Prayer, the model prayer. You know, our Father who art in heaven. Do you know that line, verse 11 of chapter 6? Give us this day our daily bread. Today. Daily bread. It's interesting. He doesn't say, give us 8 months from now a guarantee of a steady supply of bread income. He doesn't say, give us a year from now the bread we'll need then. No, give us today our daily bread. Our good shepherd feeds us one day at a time. To explain this idea of keeping focused in the present, I will of course need to talk about a good friend of mine, C.S. Lewis. He wrote, you see this book is well worn and well loved on. He wrote an interesting book. It's called the Screwtape Letters. And it's interesting because he writes it, he imagines what a senior demon might write as advice to like a junior demon on how they can best trip up what he calls the patient, which is a man who becomes a Christian. So this demon is trying to mess with this Christian. And so he gives him all this advice on how to do it. And, you know, it takes a while to get the hang of, because he says things like, you know, my dear Wormwood, the Christian, I should have told you, is in the middle of World War II in London. My dear Wormwood, there's nothing like the suspense and anxiety of war for barricading a human's mind against the enemy. And of course, when he says the enemy, their enemy is God. So he's talking about God. But here's the line I wanted you to think about. God wants men to be concerned with what they do. Our business, meaning our business as demons, as tempters, is to always keep them thinking about what will happen to them. Ponder that insight. God wants us thinking about what we will do. Our enemy always wants to draw our mind to what will happen to us. Off in the future, off in the distance, what will happen? Well, on that day, I'll tell you what will happen. If the Lord wills, 8 months from now, mark it on your calendar. We'll pray again that day for daily bread. But tomorrow has enough trouble of its own. Give us today our daily bread. God, make us focused on what we're going to do today. Our enemy always wants to make us think about what will happen to us, because you can't be obedient in the future. You can only be obedient today. You can't be filled with faith tomorrow or the next day. You can only be filled with faith today. You can't love somebody in the future. All we have is today to love. And so the enemy always wants us out there, what might happen to us. God wants us focused today. And that means if you're feeling fear about the future, what's the present part of fear of the future? It's the fear you're feeling today. So ask God to give you grace to deal with fear today. And if you deal with fear tomorrow, you'll ask him again for grace tomorrow. But that's tomorrow's trouble. Who knows? Tomorrow will be maybe a wonderful day where you don't feel fear. We don't know. But what we do know is if you feel fear today, ask the one who gives daily bread. Ask the one whose mercies are new every morning. Not for what might happen to us. That's in God's hands. What God's concerned about is what will we do today? Will we trust him today? Will we believe him today? Will we love him and love others today? Give us this day our daily bread, and give us some daily calm. May the Lord bless you and keep you.